Welcome to Man About Danville with Logan H. Gurman, a podcast for Danville, Kentucky and beyond. Conversations with friends, and you get to listen. Brought to you by the Logan Company, a commercial and residential real estate brokerage for Danville and Central Kentucky. 80% Danville-centric, 20% eccentric.
Good morning, Danville, Kentucky. Welcome to The Man About Danville. You're listening to the leading podcast, the fastest growing podcast, the most influential podcast for Danville, Boyle County, and the surrounding region. I am, of course, Logan H. Gurman, the man about Danville himself. Thank you very much for joining us, whether you're in your car, on your commute, on a road trip, on vacation, by the pool, at work, at the gym, on a run, or mowing your yard. I consider it a real honor and privilege that you choose to spend part of your day with me. I sincerely appreciate it. My guest today is a graduate of Bryan Station High School in Lexington, Lindsey Wilson College. She got her doctorate of education from EKU. She's also a retired soldier in the United States Army. She currently serves as the director for the Danville campus of the Bluegrass Community and Technical College. That's out there on Lebanon Road. More information about her and the school can be found at Bluegrass.kctcs.edu. That's Bluegrass.kctcs.edu. I'd like to welcome my friend, Dr. Michelle Carter. Michelle, thanks for being with me.
Thanks for having me.
Michelle, you're the director at BCTC, Bluegrass Community and Technical College campus here in Danville. I am sure you're busy this time of year.
Yes.
So thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to me.
Thanks for having me.
We met, if I recall correctly, you went through the Chamber of Commerce leadership program a few years back.
2017.
I went through it in 2010. In 2017, I was a volunteer helper, and I think that's when I met you. You went through it with Heather Pennington and Brent Williams and Patrick Noltemeyer.
Yes, and Jacob and Nick Wade, and it was a lot of us.
So that's where I met you, and your predecessor, Erin Tipton, was in my class at Boyle County Leadership. So I got to know her pretty well, and you have now you have taken her place. Is that right?
Correct. She has gone to our systems office in Versailles.
Okay, so she's kind of moved. She's still living here in town, but she's moved on to a different gig. You're in charge out there at BCTC Danville campus on Lebanon Road, which I drive past. I don't know how many times a day because it's between town and my house, and I'm constantly driving past it. I'd like to know more about you. Where did you grow up? And then after you graduated high school, what happened?
So I am a native of Lexington. I went to Bryan Station High School. And then from there, I went to Eastern Kentucky University for probably a semester when I felt like I was just completely lost. I'm a first generation college student, so I couldn't really navigate successfully through the campus, didn't know what questions to ask or where to go. So I left there and I joined the Army. And so I did 8 years active duty with a tour in Korea and Germany, several places in the States. And then when I got out, after I had kids and I was married, I decided I wanted to still go back to college. So after some other jobs, after I got out of the military, I worked at the Commonwealth Attorney's Office with Ray Larson. Then I went to Appalachian Regional Healthcare as an executive assistant. And from there, I used to book a lot of events at the Hyatt. And so then the Hyatt hired me for a sales manager. And then from there, I went to Southern Acres Christian Church as the office manager. So I've had several different positions. After Southern Acres, that's when I decided I wanted to come back to school. So I got a job at BCTC working with a federally funded program called Upward Bound, which helps students like me, first generation college students, get motivated and prepared for college. So Upward Bound works with high school students. And so I was able to go back to school as an employee of BCTC and take some classes. So I worked on my associates, and then I completed my bachelor's at Lindsey Wilson College, went on to get my master's at Lindsey Wilson, and then full circle went back to EKU to finish and get my doctorate in 2018.
My college roommate was in ROTC in college. So he got commissioned the day we graduated, and is approaching retirement. And through him and that program, I got to know some other guys that had a story where they went in after high school and then came back out, and they were going to get their college degree and then go back in as an officer. So I think not everybody's ready for college at the age of 18.
That's correct. And especially if your family support doesn't realize the importance of college. And so it's kind of difficult. Like I said, I was in this federally funded program called Upward Bound, where from that, I went to another program called Educational Talent Search, which works with middle school students. So to start educating students as early as middle school. And after that, I came to the Danville campus in 2015, I believe it was, to work in a program, which is also a sister program of Upward Bound and Talent Search, called Student Support Services. So I was the director of Student Support Services on the Danville campus for 4 years before Aaron Tipton left and this position became available. But you're right, there are a lot of students who just go to college because they feel like that's the next step after high school, but maybe they are not mentally prepared or academically prepared, or just don't have the support system to be successful, because it's a different world, and to know the lingo and how to navigate through college is really important.
And how to navigate that level of freedom for some kids.
Definitely. Yeah, I partied real hard at ECU my first semester. So yeah, that was a part of it too.
I can take that part out in the editing as well.
I'm not ashamed of it. A lot of students do it. And I think it's really important that they know it's about balance, because once I completed college, I think I gained the resources and the tools to be able to help my children be successful in college. I was able to talk to them like, you should party, you should, but there needs to be a balance. You really have to have a healthy balance and be have some really good study skills. That's really important.
So when did you move to Danville? About 2017 then?
I actually commute every day. So I started working here in 2015, but I am still a commuter. So I had planned to move to Danville, and then I had some life changes, divorce. And so I'm still kind of commuting.
That's a tough commute.
It's really not too bad.
You're coming in the right direction, probably.
Yes. No one's on the road with me and a couple other people. Me and Brent Welch at Farmers National Bank. From where I lived, which was right on the Nicholasville County line, it's about a 35-minute drive.
Okay. So what do you do as the executive director of BCTC?
So as the director of this campus, I manage operations, the budget. I am kind of the liaison for the community. So I have a lot of community involvement. I serve on a lot of boards so that we can keep our pulse on what the community needs, classes, different programs that the community would like to see. So I kind of am the bridge between this campus and our campus in Lexington.
I see you at EDP meetings, Rotary meetings. I see you're a BAM about town. You're out and about and rubbing shoulders and pressing the flesh and making things happen.
On this campus, we have different programs. And so basically, I'm just trying to make sure that everything that happens in Lexington happens on the Danville campus.
About how many students do you have, and what kind of programs are available for those students? And I don't want to say kids, because you all have some non-traditional students out there too.
Right. We have students from various ages and backgrounds. We traditionally on this campus have anywhere between 400 to 600 students. Because of COVID, of course, our enrollment has been affected. Right now, we're about at 307 today, which takes us down about 25% of what our enrollment was last year. But it's not to say that those students aren't here on this campus. If they have enrolled in online, which a lot of our students have called to get out of their in-person classes into some online classes due to COVID, then those numbers actually count towards Lexington. So we are still serving those students on this campus through either tutoring or financial aid if they need assistance, advising, but physically we only count who are seated in the building.
You actually come into the building.
Right now we're at 307. And on this campus, we have our advanced manufacturing program, as well as our industrial maintenance, computerized machining. We have nursing on here. So licensed practical nursing is on this campus, as well as nurse aid. We also have all of the gen ed courses, so your maths, your English, your humanities. We also have a grant-funded program on this campus called Student Support Services, which We don't have that on all of our campuses. We don't have it on our Lawrenceburg campus or our Georgetown campus, but it's kind of like a wraparound service. So when a student is enrolled in that program, any and everything they need is housed into that area, and they can get it through that one department. So they don't have to go around and ask a bunch of questions. They can go strictly to that advisor who does intrusive counseling to make sure that student is successful. We also have our human services program on this campus. We host phlebotomy, and we're always looking for new programs as well. So we also have dual credit on this campus, which allows high school students to take some college classes to get a jump start on college too. So we really have revved that up this year. We had partnered with Bull County High School, and in the spring semester we hosted their parent night so that students and parents can become more aware of the programs that we offer through dual credit, the classes that we have, so students can take advantage of that.
It's my understanding and that you can take like English 101 at BCTC, and that will transfer into UK. Where else will that transfer automatically?
So all of our classes, we have partnership with all of the public schools in Kentucky, as well as some private. So our classes, you can take your first 2 years here at BCTC and transfer to University of Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky, Northern, Western, Murray, Moorhead. So all of our classes transfer. We have partnerships with them. We also have partnership with Georgetown College, Union College. Those are private colleges. So basically, starting off at the community college is just a real cost-efficient way to start your education.
Cost-efficient, and you could, if you're not ready to be out in the wide world at 18, and you can manage your academics and your social life perhaps a little more easily at the community college.
Absolutely. As a college prep, when I was a college prep advisor, one of the things I always try to encourage students is not to go into debt for an education that you can virtually get for free. So especially if your income, if you meet the requirements for Pell Grant eligibility, you could basically cover all of your college expenses your first 2 years by attending BCTC. And it is the exact same classes that are offered at UK and Western, just for half the cost. So a lot of students, I don't think they realize that and understand, and I know that they want to get that undergrad experience, but you can still get that undergrad experience maybe a couple of years later when you're more mature and ready academically. But to start out at the community college is a real good financial advantage for students to take.
This podcast I'm scheduling it to air on Friday the 14th. When's your first day of classes there on campus?
Our first day of classes is August the 17th, Monday, and we're doing our open enrollment, our open registration right now. So students are on our campus right now coming in, registering for classes. Sometimes we have some stragglers. And even Monday and Tuesday of next week, we're still enrolling students in class.
Okay. Do you all run on a quarter system or semesters or?
Semester. And in our semester, sometimes we have what we call our fall 2 or our spring 2 semester, where they are more accelerated in a shorter time.
How are y'all handling the COVID situation?
So we have been working through COVID ever since it happened. We've still been servicing our students. This semester, what we're doing different is that we are starting our first week totally online, except for those classes that have to have labs, such as nursing or like our welding classes, which welding is another big program on our Danville campus that I forgot to mention. We have spaced out all of our classrooms to meet the requirements for social distancing. So our classroom capacity has virtually been cut in half. If we had a class that would hold 24, now it only can hold 12. So we've set up all the social distancing in our building. We have check-in points, so when you come in, temperatures are being checked and monitored. But we've tried to start this semester with probably more like 60% of our classes online or hybrid, meaning the students would only come to campus one day a week, and then the rest of the component will be online.
I've been through your facility. I've seen some of the fun stuff you have out there in the advanced manufacturing and the welding department. You've got some what to me look like really fun and exciting toys I'd like to get my hands on sometimes. I'm a college graduate, but could I just come out there and sign up and take a class, just not for fun or credit or anything?
Yes, and we also have a department called Workforce Solutions. Our Workforce Solutions department, they help industries that need like additional training, or if you have some CEUs that you need to meet a requirement of your job. So we have some classes available like that, whether it's through Workforce Solutions or if you just want to come and take a class like American Sign Language.
I didn't know you offered that one. That's pretty interesting. as I drive past your facility, your physical plant, as they call it in the college world, I see you guys you're working on something there.
Yes.
What is the big project you're working on?
We're so excited about that. So that is our Advanced Manufacturing Center. It is going to be open for class next fall. The completion will probably be this spring, but we're not hosting any classes. We may open up for summer, but we will not really be hosting classes in that space until the fall of 2021. And so all of our AMT program, our IMT, our electrical, all of that will be housed in that building. And it's a 13,780 square foot building. It's going to be open bays. And as soon as the spring comes and COVID allows, we're going to open it up to the community and host some tours because we want everybody to be excited. Those programs help to feed employees into all of the industries here on our strip, which is Corporate Drive. So Megid, Hobart, AdCap, TransNav, all of those industries pull a lot of those students that graduate from this program for employment.
And I know you work with the Economic Development Partnership and the Chamber to get students ready for the jobs that are available, and you work to know what jobs are available so you can kind of tailor classes to that.
Yes. And anytime there's openings, we always have the industry share that with our students because we want our students to apply and to know what job opportunities are right here in Danville so that they can fill those positions.
Your classmate, Brent Williams, he and I have been friends since we were 6 years old, and he was my guest a couple of weeks back. His son, Brandon, is going to be a student, I think, at your campus. So
he didn't tell me that. That's good.
If you could give us some written reports every couple of weeks on how he's doing.
Yes.
So
I don't know if he'll want that, but
we don't even have to tell him. We don't even have to tell him. Just send it to me.
I'm sure he'll be an excellent student.
I'm sure he will be, but it'd be really fun if we could keep track. Anything going on that you want to tell the community about that's going on out there at BCTC?
Other than, like I said, just our new facility opening up, our workforce solutions, which gives, it's not just about industry, HR. We have all kind of professional development for if your human services or your human resource departments need additional training, our workforce solutions, and there's even trains money for that. So a lot of the cost of the training can be offset by the trains money. So I'm always available. We have our project manager is Ted Nicholson. He's very involved in the community as well, but he has a lot of information. So anytime anyone has a question about funds for training, they can reach out to me for that. Anytime a student, if they have questions about dual credit, because right now I know this year looks really different for even the high schools. So normally we would go to the high schools. We have an advisor and a recruiter that would go and talk to students. But I've been told that this year, if you're not a student or staff, you will not be allowed on the high school campus, which is understandable. So just reach out to me. We'll do anything virtually. We have meetings virtually to talk about dual credit opportunities. But I really want to push that and make sure that students and parents are aware of the dual credit opportunities because there's scholarship money for that. So virtually these students are able to take classes for next to nothing and grab 2 or 3 classes before they jump out of high school. Get your feet wet before you actually come to the college campus and take those classes. So I just wanted to let the community know that we are here. We're operating as usual. Someone is here every single day of the week. You can ask us questions. We were closed from March to June, but basically everything was rolled over. We were working remotely. So we've never stopped working. We did have to work remotely for a little while to follow the guidelines of the governor. But basically we're open for business. We're here to serve. We just, whatever it is that you need, we're here.
You all have your own financial aid office there that can help students?
We do not have the actual office here. So financial aid, admissions, some of the other services, the main offices are on our main campus in Lexington. But what we have is what we call our student development specialist, which is a person that is here who's kind of well-versed in those areas and will meet the student, address what the student's needs have. And if they're not able to help the student, then they have direct contact with the financial aid office. So we're kind of like a one-stop here. We don't have the actual offices here. But a student can come here if they felt that our SDS did not have the answers to their question. We can set up Skype meetings, so the student never has to go to Lexington if they don't want to. We can Skype and do remote meetings anywhere for the student.
I said in my email,
okay,
this isn't a political show, and if we don't want to talk about stuff, do you want to talk at all about how being a Black woman has affected your career path or your life, or do you have any reflections on the state of society in America today? And if you sure don't have to.
I will certainly say that it is a very touchy subject. I have found myself in quite a few meetings where I am the person that they look at, like, what do you have to say? Or, what is your input? So I'm trying to stay very positive about everything. I like that everyone has decided that there is a need for more cultural sensitivity and training on race relations. I am baffled that we're still here. I would think that by now we would be in a different place. It's unfortunate, I think. Since I've been in this position, I feel like in this community, especially, that young girls are actually coming to me and asking me more questions. And I think that's great. I want to see more leadership for minorities, not just me as a Black woman, but minorities totally, and women. So I was originally, pre-COVID, working with a young lady. Her name is Alethea Price. She's currently a student right now in Leadership Boyle. And she and I want to actually partner together to have a leadership workshop for young girls. And this was actually not just for young girls, minority, but for young girls, high school age girls, because I think it's important that they learn more about some of the opportunities in technical programs. There's so much money to make here in Danville. And I think a lot of young ladies have this mindset that technical programs, even welding, is a man's job. And so they're walking away, leaving a lot of money on the table. So Alethea and I had talked about some leadership opportunities to bring more career pathways to young ladies so that they will know that there's other, I think they instantly think, oh, I want to be a hairstylist because they think a hairstylist makes more money. If I were a young lady, if I knew what I know now, then I would be a welder. I would be making so much money in welding. So
I just had some welding done here at my office. You're not kidding.
Oh my gosh. Nobody told me that. I didn't know. So I think it's important that young ladies and even African Americans see leaders. And I'd love to see more minority leaders in this community, because truthfully, every time I go somewhere, I'm usually the only one there, I've found. So I really try to stay away from that subject so much. I don't want to spew my opinions all over the place, but I really would like to see more minority leadership. And I think it's really important, especially in this day and age, that we tap into some more leadership opportunities for minorities.
No, that I know Alethea. She's at the county extension office.
Yeah, right next door.
Yeah, so that sounds like a wonderful program. When you get it up and running, let me know. I'd be happy to spread all the word I can. That sounds like an awesome opportunity for people.
And so I've shared that. So hopefully, when COVID allows us to do more things, I've talked to Alethea and Stephanie Blevins at the Heart of Kentucky United Way. And so I think it'll be a great opportunity for us to reach some young girls in this community so that they will have a better idea of the opportunities right here in Danville.
I think it's neat that you're the president of the campus, and you had a somewhat non-traditional path through your education. I think that is a great role model and example that kids can know where they want to go, but they don't have to go the same way everybody else is going all the time.
Thank you. I think it's really important. I think I would have been more successful had I had some of the programs that are in place right now. And the programs that are even in place, I think a lot of times students just don't know about them. I was the pre-college advisor here at Mercer and Boyle County for educational talent search. And so I'm able to see some of those students right now who've graduated and gone through BCTC successfully and on to a 4-year college. But I really want to stress to a lot of students, and especially with the economy being what it is right now, not to go into a debt for an education that you could virtually get for free. This is not grade 13. BCTC is not grade 13. There used to be this stigma about community college as if it were for students who were not high achievers. That's not the case. And I really hope to change that mindset that we are just a college that's here to serve the community. So regardless of what your financial background is, your ethnic background, your age, this is a community college, meaning we're here to serve all. And students should really learn more about that and take advantage of that.
Well, that's awesome. That you answered all my questions. I think you've done a great sales pitch for your educational opportunities out there, and I wish you all the luck in the world getting things buttoned up before bad weather kicks in and opening up in the fall of 2021.
Yeah, hopefully
awesome.
We won't have a second outbreak that shuts us down. I don't want that. I don't, but we're prepared. I mean, we really were resilient, and the president of our college, Dr. Ocampo, he was on it. And I mean, we made an immediate transition to remote instruction and remote working, but we're prepared right now that if that were to happen again, we'll have an even smoother transition.
Michelle, thank you so much for being with me today. The guys in my production booth are telling me that's all the time we have. But thank you for taking the time.
Thanks for having me. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, even though it's virtual. But I'm sure I'll see you somewhere out and about around town. All right, my guest today has been Dr. Michelle Carter. Thank you, Michelle.
Thanks, Logan. Bye.
But wait, you know what it's time for? What's Up Danville? Brought to you by my friends at the Still Restaurant at Ambra Bev. You can find the Still in Danville. It's in the big green building up on the hill that you see from the bypass. For your navigation system or your phone, the actual address is 522 Techwood Drive. They're open for dinner Thursday through Saturday, 5 to 9, lunch Thursday and Friday. You can have dinner on the beautiful garden patio. They offer curbside pickup to go. It's classic American and South American fusion cuisine. Great specials every week. Online ordering is available at thestillky.com or 859-209-2136. I'll repeat that, thestillky.com or 859-209-2136. P.S. Be sure to check out their range of pre-mixed bottled cocktails to go in great flavors like the classic Caipirinha and the strawberry Caipirinha. So here's what's up in Danville. Sports. Nobody knows what's going on with sports schedules, so more information there. We know Center's not doing anything this fall. I'll let you know if the high schools are going to actually have sporting events. Maybe Baby It's You continues through the 22nd of August out at Pioneer Playhouse. Check out what's going on there at pioneerplayhouse.com. I will say that Power Play will be live on Thursday, August the 20th out there. Be sure to check them out. Art Center of the Bluegrass. The Run for the Arts, one of the longest running local 5K events, is being scheduled for September and is as a virtual event co-sponsored by Danville Bike and Footwear. Check out their website at artcenterky.org to sign up and get the great-looking T-shirt this year. Here's a pro tip from me. You don't actually have to make the run to get the T-shirt. And speaking of 5Ks, the Jenny Carroll 5K that is generally run on Mother's Day weekend and supports the Backpack for Kids program has been officially canceled for 2020. However, you still can support the cause, which provides food and personal items like shampoo and toothpaste to food insecure kids and families in our communities. And in times like these with the pandemic, this need has only increased. So go to JennyCarrols5K.com. That's JennieCarols 5K. JennyCarrols5K.com to order a T-shirt, and all of the proceeds will go to the Backpack for Kids program. All the proceeds are going to the kids. Here's the catch. Today, August the 14th, Friday, is your last day to place an order, so go right now. I'll put a link to that in the show notes. If you have an event that would fall into one of the categories for What's Up Danville, such as the arts, sports, or the not-for-profit community, send me a message, get in touch with me, and I'll try to work your event into What's Up Danville. As always, I'd like to thank my guest, Dr. Michelle Carter, for joining me. Thank you for listening. I'll try to get links up to everything we talked about in the show. If you want to get in touch with me to either talk about the show or real estate, if you have an idea for What's Up Danville, hit me up at manaboutdanville.com. That's the website, or manaboutdanville@gmail.com. By the way, there is special opportunity to be my office neighbor. I don't want to turn this podcast into a commercial for me, but I have just listed the office next door to the worldwide headquarters in downtown Danville for sale. If you are looking for professional office space, hit me up. It's a very nice space and a great location. Plus, we could be work neighbors. People have been asking me, and yes, the man about Danville himself can MC your events, birthday parties, anniversary parties, pool parties, swim meets. I can be your in-ring announcer for boxing or mixed martial arts events. Just get in touch and we'll work something out. You can find me on the website, manaboutdanville.com. You can email me, manaboutdanville@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio right after KSR, Google Podcasts, or just about anywhere else you listen to podcasts. You can even listen on your Amazon Echo device. Just say, hey, Alexa, play the podcast, Man About Danville. If you have a moment, I sincerely appreciate it when you take the time to give me a rating or write a review for the podcast. That means a lot. That's all I've got. Be well, have a good weekend, and thanks for listening.
That's it. We're out. Thanks so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Subscribe to Man About Danville wherever you access your favorite podcasts, and be sure to tell your friends about us. You've been listening to Man About Danville with Logan H. Gurman, brought to you by the Logan Company, a commercial and residential real estate brokerage for Danville and Central Kentucky. Know someone who would be a good guest? Want to be a guest yourself? Have an idea for the show? Get in touch with us. Find all our contact information on the web at manaboutdanville.com. Thanks for joining us.